World Food Day is an international observance held every year to raise awareness about food security and hunger while promoting action to ensure everyone has access to safe, nutritious and affordable food. World Food Day is observed annually on October the 16th every year. It is celebrated with the aim of shedding light on the millions of people globally who lack the means to afford a nutritious diet and the crucial necessity of consistent access to wholesome food. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark the World Food Day today amid worsening food crisis that is spreading like wildfire across the country and forcing many into begging for alms just to have a meal. However, there are calls for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration to quickly address the situation before it degenerates further. Although climate change issues have impacted food production globally, however, years of neglect of the agricultural sector and over-reliance on imported food items have worsened Nigerian situation, more so in the face of raging foreign exchange crisis that saw the naira exchange for the dollar at the parallel market between 1,005 naira to a dollar and 1,025 naira to a dollar as at last Tuesday. The situation has seen the standard of living of Nigerians plummeted, with many opting to migrate in search of greener pastures, now known popularly as Jagba syndrome, while others still chase life out of the country, keep wondering if the government is aware of their condition. Joining me now live in our Lagos studios to talk more on these and other development in the Nigerian agricultural value chain is an agricultural expert and farmer, Remy Popola. Good morning, sir. It's a pleasure having you join me on the program.
So I too see you well.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you're able to make it here to the studio. But let's get talking. Okay. It's the World Food Day. What would you say is the rationale behind the theme of this year's celebration?
I think it's basically to let us know the role of water as food. If you look at the body itself, it's about slightly in excess of 50% of water, the body composition. And generally, if you look at the world, it's about 70% of water too. And out of this, you have about 2.5%, which has something to do with fresh water. And fresh water itself contributed to has a role to play in agric, has a role in fresh water that we take every day. And also in this year context, you also look at it from the angle of water is life.
Yes, very true.
And also, not only life, any food you want to make, you need water.
Very true.
So you find out that either you like it or not, water is a food. Right. It must go along with whatever you are doing. Is it farming you want to do? Is it heating? Is it bathing? Is it so many things that you want to do with water? So it's appropriate for the agency to look at it from the point of view that the role of water itself in composition of everything you can think about.
So talking about water now, do you think that the federal government is doing enough to ensure that every household in the country, and the country I'm talking about both the northern, the southern, the eastern and the western part of this country have adequate water to utilize?
I think if you look at it very well, the problem is overwhelming for the government itself. You see, you have a problem that has been in existence for some years.
Yes, very true.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't just within one term of any government to finish the problem of about 30 years. But
government is a continuum.
Yes, it's a continuum, and that's where the problem also is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have a situation whereby let me continue with what have been started. You know, you have a situation whereby people still have to. People want to identify. They want to identify with a particular project, but forgetting that the fact that there are some projects that when you continue with it, there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to continue with it. You know what I'm saying? If we are talking about transportation, if we are talking about construction, if we are talking about water, if we are talking about agri, you know what I'm saying? Those are the things that you can't, either you like it or not. If you are black president, if you are white president, if you are short, if you are long, you know what I'm saying, they must be, you must continue with it. You know what I'm saying? But another thing is that what government doesn't priority at times is another issue. You know what I'm saying? And also the ability to say that, well, let me serve people. You know, governance is about serving people.
Very true.
Serving people every time, every day, every hour. But do we have something like that? You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know. You know, maybe the present government is going to really change the shape. I mean, change things. But government is about serving people.
Yeah, in as much as I agree with you with the theme that for the theme for the World Food Day that talks about water is food, leave no one behind, water is life. And you have also emphasized on that. You've elaborated on that, and you've given a significant insights to that. Now, another thing again that we need to consider here is having access to clean water. It's one thing to have water. It's another thing to have access to clean water. Do you think that the Ministry of Water Resources is actually doing enough to ensure that Nigerians actually have access to clean water? It will surprise you to know that even in Lagos, and the commercial depth center of the country, and also the West African sub-region of the African continent, some areas are still lacking access to clean and potable water. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, I've said it earlier on that you have problems that have been issues. I mean, that have been on for a long time.
Yes, how do we address it
now? The thing is that what you see, one thing about Nigeria is this: it's a collective responsibility. It's not about one person.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's not about a particular government. You know what I'm saying? You know, there are some things that either you have Party A or Party B or Party C in government. There should be a structure to run it through. You know what I'm saying? Things like water corporation, be ahead of people. Like, for example, now you will see some sites that have been developed.
Yeah,
you know,
reporting now. Do we really have an effective water corporation organization in the country?
I'm not sure we have such thing. You know, because the point is that I said, look.
But we have what Ministry of Water Resources from the federal level. Are they actually doing enough?
You see, you have Ministry of Water Resources. You know, you have state governments, you have local government.
True.
In fact, right now with Lagos state structure, you have CDAs. You know what I'm saying? You see, we need to really sensitize our people, or to make them know in that, look, every level of government, every level has its own role to play in ensuring things are looking good for the people. So if you take water resources, there are some areas that water cannot satisfy. I mean, they can't be there for the state government. You know what I'm saying? But state government has to play their own role. Like, for example, you were talking about Lagos. How many houses that Lagos I've been like a place where I live, my estate. I've been there for more than 25 years. But the point is that what we only have reservoirs that have not been working. You know what I'm saying? You know, right from day one, it has not been working. So what are we talking about? Those are the problems. And after because that place when we started like a rural place, but now you have seen so many places. You know what I'm saying? If our problem have been in existence for more than 25 years and nothing has been done, now talk about those ones that are just in existence for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or even 5 years or 1 year. So you have all the problems. Every Nigeria is a water corporation itself. You know what I'm saying? Right. You have your own borehole. You have your everything. You know what I'm saying? You have everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's why some people are challenging that what. The government, what role do they play in my life?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Despite the taxes we're paying. Okay, let's talk about food now. Let's come to food insecurity in the country now. A few months ago, a joint report issued by the World Food Program, that's the WFP, and the Food and Agriculture Organization, AFO, reviewed that 24.8 million Nigerians will be at risk of acute food insecurity between June and August this year. Why is this so?
Well, you know, we have... we've been having persistent conflict, you know, which we believe it will be resolved at least get to a particular level. We'll be having persistent conflict. And again, in that world, we also be having, you know, don't forget that the fact that the conflict, international conflict also have a way of playing a role in Nigeria problem. Then people are being displaced a lot, you know what I'm saying? And those are the areas where farming has been taking place. Because I'm very sure all these 24-point-something million they are talking about, IDP camps will also be included.
Yes.
So, and by the time you even do the computation together, you find out that most of, if you put the figure of IDPs together, they will be running to about 10 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if they are running to about 10 million, you now have people that, apart from the IDP show, you know, I think sometimes government have to do awareness, and sometimes people have to go back to the field. There are so many farming that you can do. We don't necessarily have to go that far. It might not be enough to feed yourself, but at least 1 month or 2 months, you'll be able to be off. You'll be able to get yourself off from feeding problem. Okay. You know, it might not be too long, but the point is that, well, at least you have something to rely on.